Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. This is my new normal. Um, I'm like Queen Lisa, aka Lisa Davis. I don't even know what today is. It's Tuesday, obviously. Been at homeschool co-op all day. Couldn't wait to get home to these two little loves. This is Remington Justice and Rebel Rose Davis, the two latest freedom fighters. In little patriots here in the Davis household. The world's crazy. It's upside down. So looking for some little happiness anywhere we can find it. And this is where we found it. Satoshi Sean's getting a new puppy at his house too. So hopefully he'll have his puppies pop on and say hi to us, bring a little joy and happiness to the day, because we can all use more puppies. Right, guys? Yeah. Okay. We'll be right back with my buddy Satoshi Sean right after this. Give us a like and share the video. Who doesn't love puppies? Oh, where am I? Where's my Truth Tuesday? Hey, Sean, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good.
They are cute.
Aren't they cute? They're so sweet.
Yeah.
And they're
I
sleeping
told you
all
last
night.
week you always
Thank
wear
goodness.
white and pink, and then here you
how
have
funny.
white dogs and
White
pink.
dogs, and I'm wearing pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little Maltese, which is what they are, for like 12 and a half, 13 years. And she passed away not last Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving before, so 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I swore I'd never get another dog. And then my daughter got a Maltipoo last spring, summer. And she let us she asked us to puppy sit or babysit. And she, so then, having a little puppy in the house, there's nothing like it. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, then we went to go look, because I was like, well, I'm waiting till it warms up, get past the winter, and it's starting to get warm around here. Or, well, it's thinking about it. Now we're going to have terrible weather, I guess, this week. But
Really? They're nice.
It's at night.
70s yesterday, 80 today.
Well,
it's 3 days ago.
It's nice here so far, but then they said it's going to start storming tonight. So I don't know, because there's a big storm.
Heater. It's like heat and then air conditioning. It's like,
yeah, it's weird.
So weird, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Nice to live somewhere in the country where you just like can open your windows for a month.
Oh no.
And not have to use any kind of electric stuff.
Yeah.
But it's heat or it's been air conditioning.
It's one extreme or the other.
Yeah.
Which, Snippy talked about, he had a dream about 6 mini winters or something like that this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like we're already on kind of the path for that, like having these little spikes. I might have to go put them in their little area.
A winter in Texas would be nice.
Winter ever in Texas?
Yeah. Well,
my gosh, what is going on in Austin? Like complete anarchy, and not in the good way, has broken out there, huh?
Really?
Did you not see the? Maybe it's propaganda.
Austin's been it's the best example of government there is.
Oh,
because it's like
there's no crime.
It's like the local government there is just terrible. It's like California,
Yeah.
And then it's this, but it's the capital, so it doesn't jive.
Which is so weird. Yeah.
It doesn't jive with the rest of Texas. Doesn't jive with but it doesn't jive with the suburbs, which are still everyone says Austin. If you're in Round Rock or Cedar Park or any of those, it's like Austin, right? Even we say we come from Austin if we're, like away from home. Or I remember like spring break, go to the coast or go to Mexico or wherever, and everyone's like, "Where are you from?" Austin, man. We're from Austin. Because you know where Fort Hood is? You know where Temple is? Well, we're from Austin. Cool.
I may have to go give her to her
Hey, Silver
father.
Gem.
She's like, this is Rebel, if you wonder who the wiggly one
Rebel.
is.
I came up with a name for a male dog, I had it, but we're getting another female, and it's gonna be Liberty. I'm gonna call her Liberty.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I thought it was when you said the first one. I was like, don't say Liberty, don't say Liberty. I was like, okay.
No, we had to have Patriot names, and so we were looking through, and Cannon wanted to name her Rose, and then we saw Remington,
Rose is great.
and
I had one to name.
and Rebel right by
Tulip.
each other, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And then we'll call them Remy and Rebel, and so.
That is cute.
But we couldn't decide, and so then my husband's like, get both, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I never thought about having two puppies.
I remember when I was. It's a terrible story. I don't know if I'll tell the whole thing, but I was young. I think I was 19. I was, living on my own with my. What was she? She was my wife. Yes, I was married. And was I married?
Oh,
Yes, I was married.
Do that.
Just got married, and but our house burned down.
Oh gosh.
We lost everything, but like we had our dogs died.
Oh my gosh.
And she had a dog. She had a little poodle that was 14 that she got when she was, like 12 or something, or 10. So, or was younger than that, probably 8, because we were like 19 or 20. But that dog was, still kicking, and she loved poodles, and I got her we're poor, but like my mother used to threaten to kick me out every day. And then when I went to move out, she was like, "No, you can't move out." And even my friends were like, "What?"
That's funny.
And I was like, "You threaten to kick me out every day." It's like, "Hey, you didn't do dishes. I'm gonna kick you out. You want to go do them?" It's just like she goes, "That's just a parenting tactic." Like, no,
yeah.
I thought you were gonna kick me out like
You
every day.
didn't really mean it.
And so I had been preparing, and we didn't have to buy anything. We had nothing on credit. Like we owned all of our furniture. We had a nice setup, and house burned down. We had nothing, and I was the assistant manager at Dominos. I don't know if I told you the story. What happened?
Yeah.
I did tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. And just for the rest of y'all, I was going to work, and I went to Walgreens, and I got like a soda and something we had to pick up, and it was 666 for the total. At that exact moment, when the cash register rang up the 666, that's when my house caught fire. It is really weird.
Yeah,
and I
it is
remember
really weird.
I was writing a check too, and the cashier was like, "Ooh, don't write that for 666. Here, I'm gonna
buy something else."
No, she's like, "I'm gonna put in a penny, make it 665." So I was like, "Okay." And then literally I went from there to Domino's, and when I walked in, they're like, "Somebody called and said your house is on fire," and I didn't believe him. I was like, "Yeah, whatever, man." It's like, "Come on, guys, get to work." And they're like, "No, we're serious. You got to go. You have to. Your house is on fire." And I'm like, "Look, man, we have a lot of stuff to get done. Everybody get to work." And they're like, I was like, okay, you want me to take off? You want me to take the day off? I will play along. But then when we got out in the country, we started to smell it, and we lost it.
It's a heartbreaking thing. My parents, so when we were kids, we were moving from Arizona to Houston, and our moving vans got stolen. We stopped in Sherman, Texas, and the moving van got stolen. So my mom, and it was like us, the 4 kids, my bio dad at the time. So I was like maybe 8, and everything we owned got stolen. And then again, when I was in college, my parents' home burned down. So my mom lost everything twice. From that, and it's
don't understand.
Sickening when, especially a fire or something like that, because there's no baby pictures. There's
that's you lose all that stuff. But people are like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "What?" Well, a new front door mat.
Yeah.
And then a new back door mat and everything in between.
In between. Yeah.
And I was going to work, remember, so I had no clothes. I had my Domino's uniform on. So
Yeah,
literally
and
every
the
piece of
hard
clothing.
part is, like, people will like, it was really hard, like, people wanna help, but then, the last thing you want is somebody's hand-me-downs at that moment because your world is so upside down and small, you'd rather have, like, nothing or one nice thing
No, I would rather
because
have hand-me-downs. I was, like, desperate.
oh, no,
I had
like,
no underwear. I was
people
like,
were giving
"What?"
my mom stupid things like, free sewing kits from that they had gotten in something, you know what I mean? Like, and she was like, "Don't give me your crap. The last thing I need is your
It's
trash."
just
You
crap.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
Um,
eh,
but
Domino's is really
I
cool.
don't
They have like a nonprofit, um,
know.
uh, part of it. It's called, Partners, and they gave
Mhm.
me it's just
Oh, be
free. It
careful.
wasn't like a loan. They gave me a grant of, like, I think it was like $500 or $600. So I was able to go get an apartment,
Oh,
which was,
thank
like,
God.
literally right next
Yeah.
door to Domino's.
Mhm.
Like, we had gotten, like, a little bit of clothes, some food. So, we weren't, like, because we were
Yeah, I
20,
remember when
so
we were
we didn't have
little.
renter's insurance, so we
Mhm.
weren't, but the bad thing was, besides losing our dogs, that
Oh god, that had to be
we had
awful.
like nothing. So we had to go get buy furniture on credit, and
Mhm.
all it was that was all these just bills and things we didn't have. Um, we were talking about dogs, and
Yeah.
what were we doing? Oh no,
Liberty.
Liberty.
You were saying is that what the boys are gonna name the new puppy?
No, I'm going to name it because it's my dog.
Oh,
Because
you
their
are?
dog doesn't like
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Their
So
dog
that
does
your
not like
new dog.
it.
Oh
She's
my
very
god, are you
nice,
tired?
and
You
Alora's
sit
nice, and
this
she's
way.
very sweet, um, very polite. But she is scared of me. So she's a
Mhm.
rescue. We got her from the pound. So whoever had her wasn't nice, and
Mhm.
they were a.
Oh, so you were saying she, like, hides around the corner from
Yeah,
you
if
and
she like comes out and sees me, she like freaks out and gets scared and tries to run. She'll like fall, try to run, but
mhm.
then she'll come up like when she knows it's me. It's just me. She's like friendly. So I think it's just my like appearance, and I've noticed like the longer my facial hair gets, the more scared she gets.
Oh, yeah.
So
So
uh,
somebody probably was mean to her.
yeah,
That's so sad.
yeah,
Yeah.
but she's very well behaved. So I think she's very well trained. She it's weird because Dax was a pistol. She would. I remember it was the studio used to be Robert's room, and there's these huge French doors here, which he'd have people over here all the time, and they'd have the doors open, and Dax would get out, and I'd make him go get her. But she was very smart, and I just watch her, and she'd be like watching all of them. She was so so smart and sneaky, but she would constantly get out and just take off. She
Oh
would
my
be like,
gosh.
"Oof, gone," and and you couldn't catch her. She was so fast. So we'd have to wait for her to come back or try to chase her back. Um, but Alora, it's weird. We can open the door and she doesn't go out, or she'll just go in the front yard and like not run away. It's very odd. But we had her in the backyard, and they just let her out. They don't watch her because she's so nice. But she jumped the fence and was like two fences down. Alex went out there and saw her, and he was like Alora, and she was like scared. So he
Mhm.
goes out the front of the house and goes down, and instead of running, she ran right, but then she jumped up the fences and then came back in and snuck in the back door
Oh my
like nothing
gosh.
happened. She was like, "What are you talking about? I'm here."
That's funny.
It is funny,
That's funny.
but I'm
Make
gonna
sure you
name dog.
put
It's
your
gonna be
best
my dog.
dog names in the comments because I think that would be a cute thing to put in
Yeah,
the comments, and
well, I
everybody
wanted.
wants to know good dog
I
names.
was. I tell you, I've always wanted a big dog, big dogs, because I wasn't allowed to have a dog as a kid.
Mhm.
We always lived in apartments, and then and then I had a dog in Germany for a little bit, and then it was always something would happen. I couldn't keep the dog.
Don't step on your sister.
First time I got a dog, his name was Rex. It was this huge German Shepherd. It's a nice
Rex. That's a
dog. Well,
good German Shepherd
it was
name.
it was awesome. Yeah, and then I learned that means king. But I had him for a week, and the woman came back, and I was 10 years old, and I had this dog for a week. It was my first dog. I was so excited, The woman came back and she's like, "I miss my dog. Can I have it back?"
Oh my gosh.
And my mom was like, "It's
No,
10
you
years old.
cannot.
You evil woman. He's had it. It only may have been 2 weeks I had it. He's had this off for 2 weeks. It's bonded. It's his dog."
Yeah,
She goes,
you
"I'm not
cannot
going to
do
give it
that.
to you." It's like, and then so she asked me, and then she starts crying, and I was like, "Have
What
your
a
dog back.
horrible
I know you
thing.
love your dog. You have the dog back."
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, but so we came here, and then I finally got to have a dog, and I thought I wanted a Rottweiler, so I got this Rottweiler, which was a Dachshund, not a Rottweiler. They lied, so it was not a big dog, and had a blue heeler that would it would howl so bad that we didn't know it. It would howl when we leave. Like people would call the police, and we thought they were just asshole neighbors, but they really we like
It
left
was
and came back,
annoying,
and
I'm
it was
sure.
like
Yeah.
crazy, just. So
Yeah.
I had to give him to a friend of mine that was owned a farm. Um, so I always wanted a big dog, and I got a Great Dane that it didn't. It was a good dog. It was a huge dog, sweet dog, but it was huge. And
They don't live very long, though, do they?
I don't know. They usually do,
Oh,
but
I heard they don't live very long.
he didn't
Have a
bite
lot of
Ted,
health problems.
but he turned his head, and he's so huge. He just had his mouth open, and he just hit Ted. He hit Ted's head with his tooth, cut his head. And then, so my ex was like, "We have to get rid of this dog. It's too big." And he bit Ted. I'm like, he didn't bite Ted. He just turned his head and he hit Ted with his tooth.
Oh,
So we got rid of him. That was King
but
Arthur.
too close. Yeah. And Okie Treasure, no, I'm not auctioning my puppies off.
No.
I'm just sharing something positive because the whole world is falling apart with all
Yeah, I
the,
told you those the last week. I was like, there's like, oh, this thing could destroy the world, and now we're
yeah,
like 7 things
yeah,
that each
this
of them could destroy
because
the world.
Uncle Cliff said that this week we could have like a month's worth of news this week, and we're seeing like Jack O'Keefe get, which I'm not sure what's really happening there. Like he says he got kicked off the board
He did.
um
He did.
of Project Veritas, and then they said that he quit. And anyway, and then there's all these trains being derailed, even more trains. Another one in Nebraska this morning.
Do you know how
There's
many derailments there are a year?
no.
Take a wild
So
guess.
is it not unusual?
It is not. Take
It's
a wild
just
guess.
being reported.
Take a wild guess.
I have no idea in the U.S.
1,700
Wow.
a year.
Okay.
Because, and this is the thing, we can
But
talk
not
about it for a minute.
toxic, whatever.
Well, it just depends.
Okay. What about the tankers that are being parked in California
Well,
in
there
the
was
farms
also a
that were
truck
no
spill.
farmers didn't order? And then there's a metal shop or metal factory that's on fire. I mean, like, is this all just propaganda and
I think
media
it's just. I think
because
with this stuff,
the
it's
J6
actual
stuff is
neglect. You
coming
remember
out?
a few months ago, there was going to be a rail strike, and it was everyone
Yes.
talked about it because it was supply chain and blah 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 and prices and inflation. But they were going because everything's falling apart, and they keep cutting safety, they keep cutting inspections, and the reason there's derailments is because the rails are like broken. It's not a problem like the train's going, and then there's a chunk of rail missing or broken and it falls off. So
Interesting.
it's just been neglected for so long.
Okay.
Whether that's part of a push for some to do something different, I don't know, but it's in dire need of a refit. And what was the huge trillion dollars infrastructure bill they passed, and the rail system got jack crap. So they really.
I'm sure Ukraine has a great rail system now, or if not, they will soon.
What's interesting about that with his visit, he did not promise anything while he was there. He promised
on
money.
His birthday.
He promised
showed up on his
half a
birthday.
billion. No, half a trillion.
$500 billion.
$500 billion or something.
500, another 500 billion.
Yeah, but he didn't promise any more support or anything. And it's getting out of hand, man. I mean, they're going to lose. It's just even if you can,
Or it's just
like
going to stop. I don't know. Why hasn't it already? I mean, the fact that Ukraine's about the size of Texas and Putin could have ended this at any time, then he puts out a threat of a nuclear threat against, there's your puppy.
Yep.
A nuclear threat against the U.S. today. Here's my two when they're more active. But where's that article about the nuclear threat against us today?
Well, they've been talking about that, and I told you they're pushing for that. It's because they really, I mean, they're fighting. It's a proxy war. They're fighting against like 50 different countries. They're fighting against the entire West. But the thing is, the reason why Russia's going to win, just like the U.S. Civil War, the North could have beat the South super fast because they had, way superior technology, way superior army, military. But the South had bodies, and they just kept throwing bodies into the meat grinder. So that's why it lasted so long. And that's the thing. Russia has comparable technology, and they have millions of bodies, and they're starting to just round people up.
Yes, that's what I was seeing.
They're doing that in Ukraine too, but
Ukraine
is going to run out of people. Ukraine already has Americans there. They're paying mercenaries to fight.
Yes.
So
at my little Mexican restaurant, they were telling us that the bunch of the guys were missing because they were getting paid to go to Ukraine and fight.
Yeah, and they're paying pretty good. So especially if you're in the military on your 4-year commitment, and you're about to re-up, and you can re-up and make $1,800 a month, or you can go to Ukraine and make 6, 8, 10 for a couple months. Yeah, I'll do that. So I think that's going to go on for a while, but they're going to run out of people, and Ukraine's going to lose, or it's going to be something really, really bad. Like I said, like a small tactical nuclear thing or something really, really terrible. But what is that?
It is magnetic slime that has been created to enter the body and do robotic tasks. So
pretty weird. I saw this thing on AI, and it was creating like Instagram pictures, and they're so crazy. They look evil.
So there's a lot of talk about AI and AI going dark and movies about it and all that. And I wonder if that's going to be the alien invasion that brings us all together, is if the AI goes rogue, or that's the narrative that they tell us, is that the AI went rogue and we all have to band together. This is about humanity against AI, and we have to all come together now.
That's something that Musk has always said. Musk has always said that.
So Uncle Cliff says it's not possible because AI cannot outlearn past what it was programmed, and it was programmed by the human mind. So it can't. It's not possible. But I could see them using that narrative.
Well, that's the thing. It can, because it's programmed to a. How do I put this? Let's say you're an expert in something, and then you have a business, and you have a child, and you raise the child, you teach him everything you know, but then he surpasses your knowledge. That's like saying my kid can't surpass my knowledge because I'm just giving him this much knowledge.
See, no, that's a human that's capable of learning. Not AI is not
AI is
human.
capable of learning, and when AI, if it reaches that singularity, then it can program itself. And the thing is, AI and computers, if you look at how they how they compute and how they solve problems, it's much quicker. That's why we use them. You can do shit that's super fast.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could start, and they've already done this, if it's like an algorithm, people write an algorithm, and if that algorithm can start writing algorithms, it's going to surpass what a person could do as far as writing algorithms. You can look at ChatGPT. I mean, it'll write you a nice script. It'll do. I mean, it'll do a lot of things.
But only what it has been programmed to write. It can't outthink what has not been entered into its knowledge. It can't create new outside of what it has been
it can
programmed to. No, it cannot.
It can. All you do when you go to AI, and this is Lee showed me this, you just type in something simple, like write me a poem about this, write me something about this. You have so many years of experience in your head. It has access to everything.
But it can only use what it has access to.
Right.
It cannot create.
It has access to everything. It has access
we
to
can
much more
imagine and create, not just from, we are not just Google vomiting. We can imagine and create. That's how inventions were made. We're not just Google vomit. It is only capable of Google vomit.
But what you were saying is that it can only do what it knows. It knows more than anyone. When you want to know something, you look it up. It's already looked everything up.
But
so as far as knowledge goes, it's imagination. But that's where there's the gray area. That's where we don't know, because you're talking about it can only do this if it's this, and it can only do. We don't know. People used to say the human body can't do this. You can't run a 4-minute mile. It could be dangerous
with what it has been.
You can't run a 4-minute mile. It's
given,
impossible to run a 4-minute mile. And as soon as the 4-minute mile was broken, now it's fairly common. But forever, that was impossible for the human body to do. And that's what we're talking about. This is the unknown. This is the unknown. We don't know is the thing. If it gets to the point where AI becomes that intelligent, we don't know if it's going to have an imagination. We don't know what it's going to happen, because I can't say it enough. We don't know. And that's the really scary thing, because if it has those abilities, I mean, imagine having all of that knowledge and all of that power and putting it in the hands of a 10-year-old. You know, if they get angry or if they get scared or worried, all of that knowledge and all that power, it's pretty horrifying.
I just have to agree to disagree, because the humans will also always be more powerful, because we have the ability to imagine and create, and we have anything that a computer was given, a human gave it to them.
But not anymore. That's what I'm saying. No, we don't know if AI reaches that level. That's just like saying if you're in a vehicle and you go above 50 miles an hour, your skin will rip off your body. Everyone believed that until it was done, but they hadn't been reached yet. People will never fly. That's insane. That people could fly and then boom, it happened. This is what I'm talking. We don't know.
Agree to disagree.
We don't know what will happen if it reaches that level.
It can't. It's not possible.
Okay, let me ask you this: is everything possible?
I mean, that's too nebulous of a question.
How many times have you said nothing's impossible?
Is everything possible?
Everything is possible. You've said it. I've said it. Everything's possible. Nothing's impossible. And then to say that's impossible. It's not impossible.
That is impossible. That specific thing.
No, it's not, sis.
Yes, it is. I love you very much.
I love you too.
We agree to disagree.
We're running over. We better head over to my channel.
All right, we'll go fight over there. I'll see you over there. I'm gonna go put them down for a nap.
Okay, I'll see you in a sec. See y'all. Right. Remember to hit the like button, y'all.
Bye. See you over there.
See you on my channel. Bye.